This year gave us some thrilling moments we all watched and loved. High-speed crashes, impossible overtakes, tense radio moments. But what happened off-camera was just as interesting. Let's take a look. We can't see our own reactions when we're watching F1 on TV, but we can see the drivers' faces caught by fans. Like when Verstappen found out Antonelli pulled off a mega comeback in Las Vegas. Even he couldn't believe it. Very father-like for Max. And talking about faces, now what about this one of Max watching Lando closing in on him in the title fight? And what face do you think Alonso made when his steering wheel popped off mid-drive? One face we'll never see is Russell's after checking out this photo. Looks like a tribute to Max's 69th win. What a friend! And remember, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. More than friendship, there seems to be something else going on between Albon and Carlos lately. Look how romantic they look. Maybe they had a special dinner next to the garage. And for those who said McLaren wasn't supporting Piastri, explain this photo with Zach Brown. Speaking of friends, look at Tsunoda's face driving next to Verstappen.
Look at this dude.
But forget all that. Nothing beats Piastri's face when chaos broke loose after both McLarens were disqualified, suddenly throwing him back into the title fight. Still, the king of facial expressions is the meme guy who became a paddock star. Here he is with Fernando Alonso, who also gave us another classic face. Now imagine your face when you have the best season of your life, and absolutely no one cares, just Russell style. As a bonus, we've got not just faces, but masks, and in Mexico we got Fernando Alonso's legendary mask. Everyone in the paddock was speechless. He wasn't the only one. We also had Russell going incognito in the grandstands like just another fan. Next time, check who's sitting next to you. We've all seen the worst crashes replayed over and over this year. But what about this angle of Bortoleto's crash in Brazil? Terrifying. Same with Jack Doohan's in Japan. Now, are you afraid? Not like the fans who ran onto the track trying to grab parts as souvenirs. Speaking of fear, check out these images of Lawson almost running over a track marshal in Mexico. People say you need big balls to race in F1. Ask Hülkenberg about that. F1 cars weren't the only ones crashing. That boom truck in Austria, unforgivable. And talking about crashes, Monaco always comes to mind. Look how many spare front wings Ferrari brought. A bit over the top, don't you think? But we have to thank the crashes, because thanks to them we got to see the bottom of an F1 car. What are all those dots? Sensors. To measure aerodynamic forces. We all know people pay insane amounts to get into a circuit or even watch F1 on TV. But what do you think about this guy who watched the whole Vegas GP through the street security cameras? Controversial? Let's talk about drivers today. Whether they're more scared than the old school ones, whether 4 drops of rain stop the race. But look at how much water a modern F1 car throws up in Vegas. Same in Spa. You can't see anything at all. On the opposite extreme, we have Saudi Arabia, where the heat is so brutal, the software goes crazy, and the drivers end up making these faces, and these guys sometimes act like kids. Just look at Max Verstappen and Franco Colapinto posing with Minnie Mouse. Personally, I would have preferred Spider-Man. But what we all enjoyed was watching them jump into those Lego cars and get into trouble over and over. Speaking of kids, Grandpa Alonso is exhausted. His back isn't what it used to be. Maybe he needed the same energy Lando got from his mom at Silverstone? But Alonso isn't the one being taken care of anymore. Now he's the one looking after his student, Bortoleto. People say Red Bull runs their team like a butcher shop, chopping through drivers. But look at how well they protect young Yuki. If we're talking special cars, how about the Honda RA272 that Tsunoda drove as a tribute to Honda's first win? We also saw historic moments like Hülkenberg's first podium. Better late than never, and even sweeter with the worst car on the grid. Fans were special this year. Just ask Leclerc about signing a tortilla in Mexico. And the minifans in Japan? Absolutely adorable. On the technical side, what do you think of these special cooling vents for the Mexico GP? And everyone freaked out over the new race suits with cooling tubes. Not to mention Mercedes' heat-repelling Climacool jacket replacing the old ice pack suit. Some might say there's no big tech behind this massive invention. But what about the giant umbrella big enough to shade 50 people? Good thing it wasn't the one Fred Vasseur had in Australia. That thing almost took off. Images like the Mexico start should be framed in a museum. Look how many cars in such a tiny space. But don't talk to Piastri about starts. He'll remember his launch in Texas nearly taking off like a SpaceX rocket. Museum material? Maybe not. But I absolutely want a poster of Jackie Ickx showing us what the aura farming is. And if someone's going to sell it, it's billionaire Bernie Ecclestone. Look at him at 95. We all know who truly has aura. Everyone remembers Adrian Newey's first appearance in Aston colors in Monaco. This year was so good they even gave us a movie. What did you think of it? Next year brings new regulations that will change everything we know about F1. I'm sure these Italian fans are already praying things go better than this season. Otherwise, Hamilton and Leclerc might end up with these faces. Shh, please don't wake up Max. And that's all, folks.